Does our attitude control our environment, or does our environment control our attitude? A lot of the times we get stuck in blaming our environment for our actions, when in reality it's mostly the other way around. Life certainly throws curveballs at us, but how we view things and what we surround ourselves is totally within our control. There's a quote by Earl Nightingale: "Our environment, the world in which we live and work, is a mirror of our attitudes and expectations." Basically, what he's referring to is wherever our energy is focused, wherever our focus is, our energy flows. And we have complete and total control over what we allow into our lives and what we bring into our environment. For example, if you are fasting and somebody offers you something that's outside of your fast, you have the opportunity to say yes or no. And if you made a decision in advance, you don't have to use willpower to let that item into your environment. Now, there's obviously extraordinary circumstances like a burglar, for example. It's not something that we choose to have. But that's not really what I'm referring to. I'm referring to your everyday kind of life. So when it comes to resources, if we believe we're resourceful less, we're going to find opportunities to not have resources. If we believe we're resourceful, resources are going to come to us. And most of the time that comes through helping others, giving value, and value is then for returned. But we kind of forget about that sometimes, I think. Especially in our capitalistic society, we tend to try to up the dollar amount versus up the value amount, and then we'll end up getting more money in return. It's still very much a core capitalistic mindset, but in a slightly different way. Focusing on the value versus focusing on the bottom line. I think it's kind of missed sometimes. But beyond that, it's also about who we let into our lives. Is it good people, resourceful people, or negative people, resourceful people? So when we're focusing on our attitudes and our expectations, are they geared towards the right direction? Great quote by Tony Robbins is, "Wherever your emotional home is what your life is." For example, if you react to things angrily more often than not, your life is more or less filled with anger. And the same goes with all the positive emotions. If your emotional home is peaceful, you're more or less going to live a peaceful life because you seek out those things, you notice those things, you bring those things in. So I hope this kind of helps you start thinking about attitude, environment, and expectations. And if you have trouble kind of vetting these things out, feel free to drop a comment or message me directly if you don't want to have it in public. Otherwise, have a beautiful day, and I hope you had a great Halloween.